as the daytime grows longer and the evenings begin to draw out, many of us sit in the garden and contemplate the fruits of last year as we plan for our gardening ventures into the new season. It's time to have a look around the garden, and of course this can mean only one thing: welcome to a new series, Gardens for World. Well folks, yeah, I quite often think that the late winter verging on early springtime is probably the most busiest time in the world, in the year, in this gardener's world. Yeah, that's right. And let's have a look and see what we're going to get doing on today's show. Here we go. Let's crack on with the show. Who's that over there, folks? Yeah, you gotta believe it. That is Monty Dog. Monty's gonna be tidying up some of the areas of the garden to allow the early springtime flowers to shine through. Who's that over there? Yeah, that's Titch Marshmallow. That's Titch Marshmallow. Titch is gonna be just checking out you can see them down there, the homes for the little friends that we make. Just check out how those are going on in this very difficult time of the year. And then, who's that? Yeah, that is Dave the Shrub. Dave is always here with a few words of wisdom, and this season is going to be no different. So let's get on with the show. But first of all, we're going to go to Monty Dog, who's going to be down showing us how to tend for some of the very early surprises of the spring season. Monty. Thanks, Steve Dog. Let's get right down to this and welcome viewers. Let's get right down and see what we're looking at on this new season in Gardeners World. Well, here folks, this is the very first flower of the spring, and this is a miniature daffodil. Some people regard these as perhaps being what they call the Tete variety, but actually these are Daffodilus. These are called Yellow Sensation, and as you can see, this weed here, and it is a weed, is being quite vivacious. So what we need to do, pull out the weed, shake off the bits and chuck it away, and then these flowers can flower in the most beautiful way ever. So that's one set of these daffodils sorted. Let's go and have a look at some more. Okay folks, I just trimmed all that back to show us that, and it took me about 5 minutes to do, and I hadn't recorded it, so you're gonna have to trust me on this one. And that's right, as we go into the new season on Gardeners World, we need to learn to trust our convictions in the way we nurture our plants to promote new growth into the new season. Let's get over now to Titch Marshmallow and see what Titch is doing. Titch. Thanks, Monty Dog. Right, let's have a look and see what we're doing today, because in this corner of the garden some of the plants have been a little bit vivacious and we need to just turn them back a little bit to give the flowers that we want to see in this early season on Gardener's World, chance to really come through. So let's get right down onto that work phase. Have a look at these flowers. This isn't a real flower, but these are. As you can see, these beautiful flowers that are left over from last season, these are hydrangeas, but the problem with them is that they are very, very vivacious. What we need to do is just trim them back, but because it's still winterage going on and cold time in the weather, I think that's what they say, I'm just going to trim them back to there because I do not want anything to get down to these budding areas, particularly in the cold wind, and cause problems. So we trim that there, and you trim at least 1 inch or 2 inches above that bud. So I'll just show you again. That wasn't quite 1 or 2 inches, was it? But you get the idea. So let me just do this and I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. So, whoops, so this is what it looks like right now, and then we'll show you what it looks like in a moment. So there you have it, folks. It is perfectly okay to prune, but you must prune in an appropriate manner, and that means in the winter time not to go too far, because there's still cold times to be had as we go through into the spring. We're now going to go over to Steve Dog, who's going to show you something else in this garden, and he's going to do a little repair for us that we're going to do right now. Don't go anywhere. Steve Dog. Thank you, Titch. Now there's some things that you can't really beat. Things in this time of year, which I like to do more than perhaps any other, that's just sit in a corner somewhere. So in this corner we've got our friend. This is a honeysuckle. Let's just show you closely what this honeysuckle looks like, and I'll explain all about it. This honeysuckle is called honeysuckle eye, and this is purple sensation. Okay, now as you can see, the new growth is already coming through, but this obelisk that we've positioned the honeysuckle within is a little bit wonky. What we need to do is just straighten her up. So you grab the top and you push him back a little bit until he is no longer wonky. Okay, hope you got that. As we look around the garden, our yellow sensations, and contemplate the future season, it's pretty safe to say this: we prepare for many things in life as we do in the garden. One person who prepares more than any is Dave the Shrub. Let's see what Dave's got to say today. Dave.
Prepare for the new season on Gardener's World. Back to you, Steve Dog.
Thanks, Dave. I couldn't have said it better myself. It's time to go now. I think we've done a lot in the garden today, but there's lots more to tune into as we go into the new season. So don't be afraid to come back next week. But there's just some finishing thoughts for you in the garden this week. As gardeners, we get challenged by the climate and the seasons as much as our own lack of imagination. But if we can apply our imagination into a way of being and harness the storms that are around us through our gardening, then we can ride those storms to a more better gardening tomorrow. And on that note, it's time to say goodbye here from Short Meadow, and we'll see you next time on Gardener's World. couldn't have said it better myself.